everyone, it is Larry here at LC Model Shipbuilding, and we are getting really close to wrapping up the B deck. Right behind you, or right behind me here, you can kind of see the second class smoking lounge, which that's what we're going to be doing in this episode. So, yeah, once we get that one done, we got the second class staircase to go on the back there, and that will pretty much wrap up the B deck. So looks like this video and then one more of B deck, and then it's on to the next deck. So let's get started. Okay, so this video we're going to be starting the second class smoking lounge and the second class entry and staircase would be right here. So there is smoking lounge from Maritime Models, so we're going to put that together. We're going to put our walls up that will go all around here, and we're going to put a wall right there with the flooring for each. So let me get the flooring ready, and I'm going to go ahead and cut some walls out for here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the stairwell would be this flooring here, and then the smoking lounge is this flooring here. So just like I've done in other ones, just basically going to measure out how big I need it to be, get it cut, and then basically glue it down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that mainly off camera, and then we'll come back and start putting some walls up. So let me cut this here, and then I just gotta kind of figure out where my lines are. Okay, so anyway, these would have been a tile floor, not carpet, so that's, I guess, just FYI. And really, once I get this section done, B deck is essentially done at that point, so pretty excited about that as well. Went a little bit too long here. Okay, that seems good. And I just need to make it a little shorter on each side. And a little bit more on that side. Okay, that'll do. So I'm gonna glue that down, build this wall, put this floor down, and then I'll be back. Okay, so there's the walls. They're just test fitted in right now. I gotta spray my dull coat on here. That'll kind of get rid of the glue splotch. But yeah, gotta put my windows in, get these glued down. Then it basically will be furnishing in here, and the walls, obviously, which are here. And I'll go through that in the video, and then here will just be some couches and stuff like that. I'm not going to do the staircase because the only place you'll see it through is that little window there and one over here, so not worth doing any kind of real detail in here aside from maybe painting the wall brown. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to start working on that, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and got our windows and window frames on the rear wall, and I have the windows also on this wall. I'm waiting for the railings to dry right now, so railings come along here and, you know, in between the doors there, so we'll get them on, and then these will go on. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and start the smoking lounge walls, and very similar to the a la carte restaurant. It does have its own direction sheet, so I'm going to grab that, and then we'll start getting them bent up. Okay, so this is the back wall, or aft wall, whatever you want to call it, which would then match up to right here. So that's essentially what that looks like. This would end up being a bar, and this is a lavatory right there. I'm probably not going to bother modeling them. Not really a point in doing it because you'll never ever see it. Maybe you will. I'm looking in through the window and all you see is brass, so yeah, there might be some scratching going on in there. But anyway, that's where those go. The front wall then basically gets bent so that right here at the door you have a 90. Then you have a 90 along here. Then you have a 90 here. And another 90 right there. So that is your front wall. Now, those you'd be able to see through to the second class staircase. Gotta see if I'm going to bother cutting that out or not, but that's that. And then these are your sidewalls, and these are the columns. So looking at the directions for the columns, basically you're gonna take them and fold them over the top, basically. So I gotta kind of figure out what that means. So oh, I understand. So basically, pretty easy. We just start folding literally the top over. I was confused because there's another set of pillars down on the other end here, which I believe are for the back wall. So this needs to be folded down right there, like that. So that's it. And then these go along the wall here, and basically we'll glue them in, but they basically go right over that, just like that. Okay, so let me I can use the paper here. And I'll hit this again with dull coat to get rid of the glue. that's it. So pillar goes there, there. It basically goes along the whole entire wall, and then the same thing over here. So we'll work on putting them together, and then we'll come back and fold out these benches and chairs that go down along here. So be back after I get all the pillars on. Okay, so I got my columns on all of the walls here, and they are looking good. So next up is going to be cutting out this little alcove type thing. All right, and that basically bends here. Whoops, that was the wall. I don't bend the wall. Luckily, yeah, it's all right. Wasn't paying attention there for a minute. Bend here. And then we're going to bend this in 90. And this over 90. And then that gets glued back here. But before we do that, we have to fold these seats down. So basically, we're going to cut that little sprue right there. And that gets bent over like so. And then these two just come back like that. So that's that one. I don't even know if I need the tweezer to do it. Yeah, I'll use it. Okay, there we go. Straighten it out a little bit. There. Okay, now we just glue this guy onto the backing there. All right. Basically just like that. I'm actually going to put it down flat, and then I'm going to glue to the sides, just so I know I kind of have a better adhesion. There we go. And give it a hit. It didn't quite stick there. Now it is. Okay, so there's what that looks like. Now I gotta look at these frames here and see what colors they get painted, if any. So we'll do that quick. And then there's some seats that fold on here, and some like benches, not benches, but looks like cabinetry that go on the back wall. And they're all here on the sheet. So let me figure that out in a minute, and I'll be back at you. Okay, so we got that dried up, or set up now at this point. So cutting the little cabinets out that go on the back wall, and they're a pretty basic bend, very similar to other furniture pieces that we've done so far. So basically it's a straight shot bend with multiple 90s, and then you have the top coming down, and whoops, and you just got to basically get it to the shape of what it should be as a cabinet. So there we go. Same thing for the other one. Okay. That could go a little bit more. There we go. All right, so now that just basically glues onto the back here. And it has a nice backing plate here, which makes it easy to get on there. So that's nice. Not all of them have. If I could hold them, that'd probably be helpful. Okay, there's that. So that basically finishes up that wall for now. Then we have a couch and 2 chairs that go into that little alcove that we put in a couple minutes ago. So we'll get them cut out. And those I'm going to paint, once I get them in there, I'm going to paint them the dark green that they will be. And these are very similar to the couches that were in the cabins if you watched previous videos. Nothing too difficult. Kind of has that little curve that happens there, but you just gotta kind of get it right. Okay, so to put that one in, again, just kind of gluing on the back of it. And that just fits right in here between those 2 walls that we kind of did last time. And the chairs are basically the same type of thing. Okay, so there's that one. And this one. Okay, so there we go. Those pieces are on. Now we have a couple little doors here, and those two little poles. I gotta figure out what they go to. GSBB. They are numbered, but I'm just not seeing them. Well, perhaps it'll present itself in the future here as we're going. But for right now, I don't quite see where they go. But anyway, I'm gonna pause it for right now and bring the deck back over. We'll start installing the walls for the deck and get them on there. And then next will be the furniture, and that'll pretty much finish up the video. So we'll be right back. Okay, so this wall here, these are windows that show out into here. So I cut out a small section there that lines up with the window. So that way, if you would be looking in from the side, you will be able to see into here. Just barely, but enough. And these two right here are both mirrors. So I'm going to use some of the double-sided, not double-sided, but the sticky-sided foil tape again, as we have in the past, and we'll apply that right onto the section there that would be the mirror. So got that, and do the other one, and then we'll trim off the top there. Okay, so that goes right in there, like the other side. And then to trim it, I'm just going to run a blade right across the top there. Okay, so window frames stay the same color. The door will have the black wrought iron, so I'm just going to hit that real fast with the brush. Nothing too difficult there. And I think I'm going to actually open these doors. That's what those two pieces of door were for that I was looking for earlier. Now I just thought about it. So that explains that. They go on the inside, so when the doors open, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to take them quick, and they're right here. And this would be the side that's more visible, so I'm more worried about this one for getting the paint just about as right as possible. The other side you won't see really once the door's open. Okay, so to open the door, we just need to cut right there on both sides. And now we can take our tweezer and pop it open like that. Then we glue that piece of the door on, and we have our door. So that makes total sense, which did not earlier, so yay. Sorry if I'm off camera, I'm just cutting off the door. Okay, so for that, we're going to just put a little bit of glue on the bottom half of this door. And bring it right up onto the other side of it. Just like that. And it's lined up. Just gonna kind of squeeze it together with the tweezers a minute to make sure the glue holds. Alright, wonderful. Now, let me do the other side quick. And then from here, I'm going to glue the walls on, and then I'll start doing the furniture. So, I'll glue the walls on camera. Furniture, I'll do part of it on camera, but most of it not. Just in the interest of time. I am trying to keep the videos a little shorter because I know they're getting a little long. A couple of them coming in at 1:30. Okay. Now, before I glue this wall in, I'm going to go ahead and paint the chair. I'm going to use this is actually the same green I used for the winches, but it actually will do pretty good for what we're trying to do here. It should make a nice match to the room too. Okay, I'll have to touch that up. I bumped it with a little bit of green there. When I've done the furniture here, I've found that if I kind of do it thick, it kind of gets more of a material look to it. So that has been working on the other chairs quite well. So just doing the same. Okay, there we go. So now from here, this wall gets glued straight to that wall. So I'm going to imagine that that wall probably might not have existed there. Well, actually, no, it did. I'm looking at the floor plan right now. The staircase would have been on this side. So, alright. So we're going to just basically run some CA on the back side here and along the bottom. and the back side over here. And then I'm just going to drop it right in and bring it up right tight to the door, or to the wall. Oh shoot, before I do that, I'm going to need to cut out for this door as well. And this is for the door we just opened. If you don't put this wall in, you won't have to worry about it, but since I did, I do. Okay. Close enough. There's a little bit left there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put new glue down because that would have already pretty well dried. But I am glad I caught that beforehand. And I'm just kind of dousing the bottom down there. Okay, we're on. Now, if I hold it up, you can kind of see how you'll be able to see in there and all that good stuff. So, there we go. Now, next up, we're going to put on our sidewall. And I got the railings already installed on that, so that's pretty much ready to go. Apparently got glue on the back of it. Yep, I did. So to do that, I need to trim away a little bit of this decking quick. So I need to get a good clean razor blade real quick before I do this. And I'm gonna do it off camera real quick because I gotta go get a blade. But I'm basically just gonna trim right along this line right in here so that it sits down level. So let me go ahead and cut that and then I'll be right back. Okay, so they are trimmed. You can kind of see I took about the same width as the wall off all the way around. So that is done. And now I'm just going to do my CA glue on the inside and lower section of the wall all the way around. The interior wall I'm not so worried about painting because that will be covered with the brass, so no big deal with that. And we're basically just going to hold it down on here for 1 second. Well, about 10 seconds, I guess. And after trimming that, these walls are actually perfectly lining up with the photo etch, which is good. So that means there will be no weird height differences. Okay, there we go. And then we just got this one to do. So same thing, we're just gonna put our glue on the inside. Okay. Now this has to fit down in there between that crate and the wall. And essentially, there we go. I don't really need to spray that one. That's pretty solid as is. So next up is our interior walls. Now I want to see if they are side determinant. Yes, they are. So what I mean by that is the windows kind of determine where the where the frame goes. So you got to make sure you put it on the right side. They can only line up one way, so I guess that's the best way of putting it. Okay, that one's on. We'll do this one quick. That seems to be pretty well right. Okay. And then last but not least are these. Really shouldn't go crazy with the glue there because that won't have a wall to mount to. Okay, so what I'm running into right now is the fact that that little divide is there. I gotta take that into account. So not the divide, I'm sorry, the part where the wall mounts to the floor, you got to take that into account when you're sticking this down, basically. There we go. I'm going to have to maneuver that one by hand just a little bit. This side's lining up just a little bit better, so. Gonna have a little bit of an angle in. Actually, it should not. I need to trim that down just ever so slightly because the window's not going to line up if I don't. The other side was perfectly fine, but this side not. But that did it. Okay, so now the window's lined up. Okay, so let me go grab my furniture. I gotta paint that and we'll be back. Okay, so this is the furniture for the smoking room. So that'll be the chairs that kind of go over here, and these are the other chairs. Then you got the desks that are in here, or not desk, but I guess smoking tables, and then these are all chairs. So I'm gonna get these painted up brown and then go back through them all with green, and we'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to start to do the furniture, which is very similar to the other furniture in most cases. Like these chairs are very similar to the cabin chairs that were in previous videos. So basically I'm gonna fold them, and then what I'm gonna do is kind of do this in assembly line style. So I'm gonna put a piece of tape here. It'll say A, B, C, D, because each one is lettered, and that way I just have them kind of all together, and I can basically see what everything is very, very quickly. So that's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and fold this furniture, and I'll show each individual piece, I guess, as I go, but it's really pretty basic. So there's 32 of this chair, so I'm going to work on folding them, and I'll be back. Okay, so the next piece would be these chairs, which are part B. So I'll show them and how they get folded. They look a little bit more complex, but they're really appearing not to be. So 3 mounting points on the sprue, just like the last one. And basically we just flip that up. We bring our legs down. And then we kind of not twist, but roll the back of the chair around like that. So you got your sides, and there we go. So there you can see it. I'm trying to get it to focus. There you go. So that is part B, and I don't know, there's probably about 20 of them, so I'm gonna get them marked out and make them, and then go on to part C. So we'll be back. The next two chairs, there's only 4 of each, so I'll just show them one at a time quick here. So number C, or letter C, I'm sorry, and letter D. Alright, so they're both quite easy. Just a simple fold that way, and that does D. And this one is simple fold that way, Then you got your legs. So get your legs down, and then your armrest. Just come around. And I find with these it's pretty easy just to hold it with the seat of the chair. So I just gotta write out my letters on here. C and D. I get it. All right. Okay, the next two I'm going to kind of just show. There's not that many of them, so I'm just going to do it in one shot. So you have these, they're not a desk, but they have like a partition kind of thing on the top of them. I'll show you in a second here. So that's the top of it right there. And then you have the base, which is right here. So what has to happen here is you fold your bottom part, it's just 90s, and you get that kind of into a square or a rectangle like so. Then you're going to take your top and fold up, fold down, and then fold up again. So you basically have this center partition kind of right there in the center. Then we're just going to glue that. So we'll glue the top right down onto the base there. Just want to make sure I have a good grip on it. So I just dip that in CA and come down right there on top of it. Now I want to make sure I'm pretty well centered, like that. And that should do it. Okay, so there's that one. I'll do the other one real quick. And that is it. So there's those. Now, next up, we have two different styles of table. So we'll put them together. We'll put one of each together, I mean. So these are going to come down kind of at a 90, or not a 90, a 45. So that your legs come together and meet. And then you just fold them basically so that they're together like that. So you want it to be basically one central leg. And then you're going to take these little feet on the bottom and fold them out. So that kind of makes a nice gluing point too when it comes to actually putting it on the flooring, which will be nice. So there's a handful of them, like 10 of them. We have a round table, which is basically the exact way, or the exact same way as what we just did, except it's round. So that one, same scenario. Your legs basically just bend down, and then they come together. Just like that. And then your base comes out like that. Now there's only 2 of those, so they're not hard. Then we have 2 little small sofas. I guess it's not 2. It's actually the other one's the 90-degree sofa, I guess you'd call it. So this one's just get its feet down. And then you fold your arms over. Pretty similar to the chairs, just bigger. Okay, and the arms are already there, so put that there. And then we have the 90-degree chair. That has a ton of mounting points on it here. Okay. Now, this one, actually I'm going to have to do some repaint work on it, because you're supposed to fold these up and then fold the cushion down onto it, kind of like that. So I'm going to have to repaint the green on the outside there, which isn't a big deal, but I wish I would have realized that prior. And then your sides come over here, like that. And then we just have to put the base on it. And that will glue on. There we go. Oh, there it is. And that'll just glue on kind of like that. So, yeah. My glue dried. So you get the idea. I'm going to pause in a minute. Okay, so all of the parts are built. Next up, we're just going to use this map and basically put them down onto the deck or the flooring where they belong. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it and start doing that. Okay, so there is a final view. You can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So that is all installed. I'm going to end up replacing the floor in here, and I'm going to try to print out a staircase for this. I'll panel the walls with wood paneling along here. But here you can see the a la carte, and then you can see the galleot we made in the last episode. So there they are. But that's going to wrap up this episode. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Building the Titanic 1200 RC edition. Oh, here's the back there. So I guess I'll show one more thing, because you can actually see in these windows, which I don't know, kind of hard to get a camera angle, but anyway, yeah, next video, we're going to do this second class staircase, and this one right here, and that should pretty much wrap up B deck. We'll also put people in all of the rooms and get that pretty well situated. I still got to put the furniture in these last few rooms over here. So I'll do that, and then we'll put some people in. But anyway, again, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.